You know all those late nights, those tough projects, the lessons you learn the hard way? What if you could cash all of that in? What if you could quantify it and get it certified, just like a university degree? Well, today we're breaking down a system that's designed to do exactly that, turning your real-world, hard-won experience into a credential that can open doors anywhere in the world. And that's the big question, isn't it? For so many seasoned professionals, this is the hurdle. How do you actually prove that the wisdom you've gained from a decade of leading teams and solving real, messy problems is just as valuable as a piece of paper from a university? That's the challenge we're digging into today.
So here's our roadmap. First up, we'll explore this big idea of treating your experience like money in the bank. Then, we'll see how that value is actually measured. After that, we'll check out the actual certifications you can get, see what makes them credible worldwide, and finally, we'll get to the heart of it all, the mission that's driving this entire system.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1. This is the core concept. Your professional experience isn't just a line on a resume, it's a form of capital. And the key to unlocking it is something they call the learning bank. So, what in the world is a learning bank? Now, this isn't a course catalog. Think of it more like a bank account for your career. Every project you led, every new skill you mastered, every achievement, it's all a deposit. The system then audits and validates those deposits and turns them into something real and tangible, global credits. And this is a really fundamental shift in thinking. The whole point isn't to teach you stuff you already know. No, it's to meticulously go through the expertise you've already built over years of hard work and give it the formal, certified credit it absolutely deserves. Okay, so if you're going to treat experience like capital, you need a rock-solid way to measure its value, right? And that brings us to a really fascinating framework they call the Bijak Circular Model. It's designed to assess something they've termed circular intelligence. So this model is all about measuring that circular intelligence. What does that even mean? Well, it's not just about what you know from a textbook. It's about your proven ability to lead and make a real positive impact in systems that are designed to be sustainable and self-renewing, instead of just wasteful. It's a whole different way of thinking. So the assessment looks at you from 5 different angles. It starts with your core knowledge, of course, but then it gets really interesting. It measures how well you can connect your work to big-picture sustainability goals. It demands proof that you've made a real, measurable impact. It looks at the financial value you create. And, crucially, it assesses your ability to bring people together to actually make change happen. So what's the journey actually look like for a professional? Well, it's a clear 4-step path. You start by depositing your professional history and portfolio for evaluation. Then, you jump into a focused, intensive program to sharpen your key skills. After that, you're assessed against that Bijak framework we just talked about. And if you make it through, you come out the other side with a globally recognized credential. All right, we've seen the process, so now let's look at the prize. What are the actual credentials you can earn? This is where your proven competence gets transformed into a concrete, certified qualification that you can take anywhere. There are 4 specialized certifications up for grabs. And you can think of them as covering the full spectrum of sustainability work. You know, from the detail-oriented experts who are deep in the weeds with compliance and reporting, all the way to the strategic leaders who are shaping company-wide policy from the top. These roles really fall into 2 main camps. On one side, you've got the technical experts. These are the people who make sure the data is solid and the performance is real. Then on the other side, you have the strategic transformers, the coaches and consultants who are driving cultural change and advising top leadership on that big picture vision. And here's what really makes this stand out from a typical course. This isn't just about theory. Every single candidate has to complete a real-world consultancy project. So you don't just pass a test, you have to prove you can get out there and deliver actual, measurable results for a real organization. But look, a credential is only as good as the trust people have in it. So what gives these certifications their global credibility? What makes them worth something in New York, London, or Singapore? That's what we'll explore next, the international validation that backs them up. This is so crucial. These aren't just some internal certificates. They are validated by major international bodies. We're talking partnerships with organizations like AQSR in the US, alignment with globally recognized ISO standards, and access to the SUSNet Global Network. All of this provides the muscle to make sure these credentials are respected anywhere in the world. Now this might look a little technical, but stick with me, because this is the secret sauce. The most important one is right there at the top, ISO 17024.
That's the global gold standard for how to certify people. It means the entire process itself is held to the highest possible level of quality. Then you have other key standards for the circular economy and environmental management, woven directly into what you learn and how you're assessed.
So, to put it simply, these credentials are benchmarked to be on the exact same level as certifications from massive bodies like the Project Management Institute, PMI, or NAMBSHOSH. That's the standard of credibility we're talking about here. It's serious business.
Okay, we've gone through the how and the what, but now let's get to the most important part, the why. Section 5, Leading with Purpose, is all about the philosophy that's driving this entire ecosystem.
And the person behind this whole thing is Dr. Norsedatul Akmar Mazalan. Her vision is really the why that powers the entire system, and it transforms it from just a certification service into something much bigger, a purpose-driven movement.
Her core philosophy is captured in this incredible idea she calls the sustainability of love. She says it's a methodology for building regenerative systems that honor human dignity while restoring planetary health. In other words, it's about creating systems that are good for people and for the planet, all driven by a much deeper sense of care and responsibility.
And this vision really challenges professionals to aim higher than just checking off boxes on a compliance sheet. It's a call to action, to lead not just with data and spreadsheets, but to lead with empathy, a powerful sense of purpose, and a clear conscience.
So, when you put it all together, what does this ecosystem look like? Well, it boils down to a few key numbers. It starts with those 4 specialized certifications we talked about. And those certifications are built on a powerful assessment of 5 core dimensions of intelligence. They're delivered through an intensive 3-day program, and they're backed by 4 major ISO standards that give them that global trust. Which brings us right back to where we started. This whole system is built on one simple but incredibly powerful idea. Your experience is already your capital. It's sitting there, waiting to be unlocked. So the only question left for you is, how are you going to certify it?